Welcome to SibSpot. Today we're featuring stories from Reddit, people wondering if they're in the wrong in a situation or argument at home. Our first story is from user Brilliant Bedframe. Am I the bad guy for missing my sister's memorial event? I'm not sure if I'm the bad guy or not, but my family is really upset with me. You see, every year we have a family event to remember my sister who passed away 5 years ago. But this year I decided to skip the event and go to a party instead. To make things worse, I got drunk and ended up causing a scene. I know it was a selfish decision, but I wanted to have some fun and blow off some steam. I didn't think it would be a big deal if I missed the family event, especially since we've been doing it for 5 years now. I thought it was time to move on and focus on the present. But my family doesn't see it that way. They're really hurt and upset with me, and they think I'm disrespecting my sister's memory. They've even threatened to stop paying for my fraternity dues if I don't start taking things seriously. I feel bad for causing all this drama, but I also feel like I should be allowed to live my life and make my own choices. I don't think it's fair for my family to try to control me, especially since I'm an adult now. Plus, I don't think my sister would want us to feel sad and mourn forever. She would want us to move on and live life to the fullest. But what really stings is that my 2 other sisters won't let it go. They constantly pick on me and make snide remarks about how I disrespected our sister's memory by missing the family event. I want to make things right with my family, but my sisters won't let me forget my mistake. It's like they're trying to punish me for not being there. I don't know how to handle the situation. I feel like we need to move on from the death of my sister. OP, I think most people agree that you're the bad guy in this case. It's not because you chose to unwind and relax, but because you didn't clear it with or discuss it with your family. You getting drunk and partying and causing a scene is completely separate from you being inconsiderate, not talking to your family, and asking if you can skip the memorial event. 2 last things to add, OP. You said in here, especially since I'm an adult now. Adults don't have their parents paying fraternity dues. And the second thing, you seem to already know that you're the bad guy down here. Because at the bottom you said your sisters won't let you forget your mistake. You know who's wrong. You know it was you. Our next story is from Ice Financial 645. Am I the bad guy for joining in on my husband's friend's bachelor party? My husband was a groomsman at his best friend's wedding this past weekend. Let's call that friend Ted. I like Ted a lot and consider him a friend too. We just aren't as close as he and my husband are. I was not in the wedding party and didn't expect to be. We live on the opposite side of the state and drove down on Friday for my husband to attend the bachelor party, and we're running late, so we drove directly to the barcade where the party was at instead of swinging by our hotel first. I figured I would just drop my husband off, but Ted very sincerely invited me to join the festivities, and my husband was happy for me to join too, so I did. We did the whole barcade thing with beers and pizza, and then went to an adult-themed venue, not an outright strip club, more like an 18-plus comedy burlesque show. We all had a good time, I thought, and I had some good conversations with the other groomsmen, but never felt like I was monopolizing anyone's time or drawing a lot of attention to myself. Well, me, my husband, and Ted all had a good time at the bachelor party and didn't have any issues. Apparently, some of the other groomsmen didn't like that a woman joined the party at the last minute, and they told the bride, who texted me later saying that I should have just let the guys have their fun and let my husband out of my sight for a few hours. I feel like this is a little unfair. I joined in because Ted was happy to have me there, and it was a fun party, not because I felt like I couldn't let my husband out of my sight. and I don't feel like I stopped anyone from having fun. I happily participated in everything that was planned and nothing got changed on my account. Should I have declined the invite and kept out of it? OP, it seems that people are split on whether you're the bad guy or not. One reply mentioned that this may be what he called a non-invitation, but he spelled it as non-vitation. I tried looking up both those words, and it wasn't entirely clear if that's the right word for the definition. But the word was being used to say you're invited, but you're expected to politely decline. Lots of women do go to bachelor parties, but the people that say you're the bad guy are saying that your presence there as a woman messes with the whole vibe of the party. I would tend to agree with this. I wouldn't really want a man coming to a bridal party unless he's the entertainment. Also, the fact that someone said you should have let your husband out of your sight for a few hours suggests you could be a jealous wife looking to keep tabs on your man. I would say you're the bad guy. Not a big one, just mild. The next story was posted by Efficient Expert 687. Am I the bad guy for telling my wife that she isn't a princess? For the past several months, she has been eerily acting like a child. I understand that she's playing with our daughter, but it comes across as weird to me to the degree that she plays the role. Our daughter wanted a mini pizza, and so she asked me to make her one. I was, and then my wife said, "Me too, because I'm a princess too." I told her, "No, you're an adult, not a princess. I'll make you one, but you're an adult." She laughed nervously and said, "Okay, never mind." Our daughter heard and said, "Dad, Mama's a princess too." I just said, agreeing, but I didn't want to have to explain it to her. I did feel bad because my wife changed out of her princess clothes too, but I don't know whether this whole ordeal makes me the bad guy. OP, you're a mild bad guy, but the top reply was quite funny, and ideally should teach you a small lesson. When I last checked the number of upvotes, the person got 102,000. They simply said, the only correct no response to "I'm a princess too" was, "No you're not, you're a queen. You're the bad guy." The fourth post was by Prestigious Spare 510. Am I the bad guy for telling my mom she either gets rid of my racist brother or I'm not visiting anymore? My parents divorced 8 years ago. I'm a 16 male. They have 50-50 custody, but since they live in the same city, they let my brother, 17 male, and I choose where we go. Until this happened, I spent most of my time with Mom, but I'd spend most weekends and some weekdays with my dad. Now the issue is that I had a girlfriend for 2 years until 6 months ago. My brother, for whatever reason, turned into an insane racist. We're white, my ex-girlfriend is Puerto Rican, called her pretty much every slur in front of her and to me. I don't blame her for leaving me, but I didn't let that go. Our parents did punish him. They took his phone for a month and made us all do family therapy. That was it. As far as I care, I'm an only child. The therapist tried to fix that by having one-on-one sessions with my brother and I, but I just didn't talk. I also haven't been to my mom's place since. My brother basically lives there full-time now, since our dad wants to punish him some more. I basically told my mom she needs him to move out of there if she wants to see me. Either send him to boarding school, she can afford it, or military school, or our grandparents. Get rid of him and then I'll visit. My mom won't do it. I don't know why she still cares about a racist, but she won't kick him out. My dad thinks I should just ignore him and go see her, but I'm not gonna stand in the same room as a racist. OP, you aren't the bad guy here, but you can't expect your mother to get rid of your brother, as he's still a minor child. He doesn't have long left until he's not a minor anymore, but your mother loves her child. There have been kids or teens that did way worse things than what your brother has done, and the love of a mother prevents them from giving up on them. Your brother definitely needs work, though. He's a major bad guy, but still young, so there's still hope for change. You're completely within your right to despise him. No doubt any readers agree with your distaste for him. Racism is definitely a major problem in the world. One other thing. You said you had your girlfriend for 2 years and you're 16 now? You're a little too young to be worrying about your permanent relationship with a girl. Our last story is by AITA Towels. Am I the bad guy for telling my wife I can't trust her after she didn't text me about towels? My wife and I are in our 30s. I had a stroke last year, which was stressful, but I'm doing well. I had aphasia as a side effect. I pass as normal to most people. Since the stroke, our communication is worse. Sometimes when I talk to her, she says I'm mean and she cries and I have no idea why. I don't know if I'm misspeaking or she's sensitive or if something I say is actually mean. This didn't happen much before the stroke, but it happens a lot now. I try to be nice when we talk. Today I took my kids to swim class. I got there and realized I had forgotten towels. I texted my wife and she offered to go home and get towels and bring them to me. I replied, thanking her. I got the kids in the pool and called her. She was still at work and said her car was blocked in and she was finding the person who blocked her in. Her coworkers were getting her towels and she would come to the pool when she could. I didn't hear from her for 15 minutes. I considered asking the front desk for towels or sun-drying the kids, but I was just stuck because I didn't know if my wife was coming. I know some people would handle the uncertainty better, but it stressed me out. She showed up with the towels, we talked, and she left. I didn't say much because I was feeling upset and am very careful if I'm upset in talking to my wife. When she got home, she offered to finish dinner and put down the kids, since she knew I had been with them all afternoon. I said sure, since I still had some work left. I asked if it was okay to talk, and she said okay. I've told her I feel like I can't trust her when I ask her to do something, because she won't update me if there are unforeseen circumstances. I was careful to say I wasn't criticizing her, just sharing how I felt. I could tell she was upset. I asked her if she understood me and she repeated it back to me. It sounded like she understood. I asked her if I said something mean. She said that she didn't blame me, but that it hurt her feelings that I would complain to her without thanking her or think about how hard she worked to get me the towels. I told her that I did thank her. I immediately texted thank you when she said she would come. She also said something sarcastic like, "And you're welcome for coming home and offering to take the kids." What does my gratitude have to do with not trusting her? I appreciate everything she does for me. The offer to do my chores is very nice, but I guess it came with strings. If she does that for me, then I can only feel gratitude. So I told her not to bother. I also said something like, "Don't do me any favors," which I guess is not the nicest choice of words. I think she's the bad guy because she is self-absorbed and can't be there for me when I have negative emotions. I think I might be the bad guy because she's upset, and I know she tries to give me the benefit of the doubt, and if so, I'm hoping Reddit can explain it to me. OP, you're the bad guy. 100%. The fact that you can't see that you are means you aren't fully recovered from your stroke. She left work, dropping every obligation she had to bring your children towels that you forgot, and you think that means you can't trust her? You need to work on yourself. You don't sound mentally stable right now. Thank you for hanging out here today at SibSpot. Until we meet again, have a great day.